Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. Today I'll be talking further about why these new distribution centers are going to be fundamental for the future of Star Citizen. As always, a huge thank you to all of my patrons and channel members. Thank you so much for making these videos possible, it is truly appreciated. And if you do enjoy my videos, please do consider subscribing and helping the channel to grow. So over the past year, Star Citizen has thrown a lot of resources at these new upcoming locations, bringing them to completion as quickly as possible. And today, I'm going to explain why they have become top priority for Star Citizen. Now, when we first heard about these distribution centers, they were referred to as underground facilities, and were said to be what Cloud Imperium originally wanted for the current underground bunkers, but didn't have the tools or the resources to quite achieve that. We have been following along the progress with the development of these locations for just over a year now, seeing them originally pitched at CitizenCon 2022, and since then they have made significant progress with a lot of resources put into them to get them ready for release in the first half of this year. In fact, it was only just mentioned that the team who were working on the building interiors for landing zones have only just recently returned back to working on the interiors after being pulled over to assist on the distribution centers interiors. But why is there so much priority set on these distribution centers? Well, during the last CitizenCon, they shed a lot of light into the intention for the distribution centers and what they will offer for gameplay and supporting upcoming game systems, which showed me why they are so important to the future of Star Citizen and fundamental to provide support for many other game mechanics. And as stated by Cloud Imperium themselves, they are this big because they want them to have as much space to support as much world and mission-based gameplay as possible. And each distribution center is capable of supporting multiple landing pads and multiple hangars, which means these will be capable of handling many players at any given time, so they will basically become hives of activity, seeing players coming and going for the various reasons and missions, which I will speak about soon. It was also said that these locations are that big that they had to build a road network to connect each pad to the main entrance, which means there will be a need for many other ground transport vehicles and tools, and as a side note, hopefully this also helps to further develop roads in general. Now, there are a lot of upcoming game systems that these distribution centers will help to support and be vital in their expansion, and Cloud Imperium are trying to kill as many birds as possible with a single stone by creating them. From the cargo profession, reputation, manufacturing and distribution, which also ties into things like base building, but most importantly, they are required for the upcoming dynamic economy. As we speak, Cloud Imperium are heavily focusing on developing the in-game economy, which will impact every single thing in the verse, and heavily dictate what players and NPCs will be getting up to. The Maelstrom system, or the physical damage system, has seen a lot of work gone into it, with much of it revolving around creating recipes for every single material in the game, which in turn will determine the supply and demand for every item in the game, and eventually crafting, of course. So for example, a size 1 cooler might need materials A, B, C, D, and E before one can even be manufactured, and the minute someone wants to purchase one, that demand is then there, and a factory node will need to manufacture one and get it distributed to the stores for the player to then purchase. And of course, a cooler is just one example. So these distribution centers will play a pivotal role in distribution, sorting, storing, or processing these materials or items, and in some cases, depending on the role of the distribution center, be a manufacturing plant itself, requesting raw or processed materials to be delivered in large quantities to craft these items en masse. And as we heard, the distribution centers will vary based on who owns them, each offering a multitude of missions and opportunities for players, allowing players to build their reputation with the company. And so, for example, a UEE-owned facility will be focused on military supply, research and development, or communications, depending on which branch they represent. They will have a strong military presence in the area and likely offer more hostile-type gameplay opportunities like team-based combat raids, as we heard about. Missions like hacking, stealing, search and destroy, or eliminate target and eliminate all missions. Whereas a distribution center owned by a company like Greycat will be more focused on gathering resources, manufacturing and assembly and shipping. It will have a limited level of security and will offer friendly style gameplay like cargo hauling, resource gathering and mining or maintenance, but they can also offer some hostile gameplay options as well. And that is just 2 types of distribution centers. As you can imagine, there will be many others as well, with each one offering a variety of missions, as we have just heard, which will see players coming and going constantly, with some players moving goods, others maintaining the location, or maybe dropping off an NPC, and so much more. Now, much of what I spoke about there mostly takes place at the ground level of the facility, on the landing pads, not necessarily venturing into the building too far. And internally, what you see above ground will only make up a small percentage of the location, much like we see with the current underground bunkers. So as you begin to go inside, you will see the corporate office space and interact with the administrative personnel. And not only are there landing pads at the ground level for these cargo drop-offs, but also smaller pads located near the admin entrance areas, designed for, say, small package deliveries or dropping off or picking up a player or NPC, and a lot more. And in the atrium of the building, we will find the corporate space with receptionists, and these locations will act as a place to maybe hand over or pick up small deliveries, get new assignments, and be the starting point for building your reputation. And then once you have built enough reputation with the company, you might gain access to office spaces deeper inside, where missions might have you handing over documents, meeting with unique mission givers, or performing an assassination, meaning that as you gain reputation with the company's facility, you could get access to your target, instead of trying the guns blazing Matrix lobby style entrance, of course. Now, they also mentioned that these facilities are built with expansion in mind, as they have placed elevators and doors to lead to further locations deep within the facilities, and as we saw while they've been developing them, in the future there will be distribution centers with subterranean levels that can be accessed from either the interior or exterior, going very deep underground, again offering more entry points or gameplay opportunities. So as you can see, these places are designed to support the work on the economy, and this year we will see these locations act as distribution hubs, manufacturing plants, storage facilities as well, working alongside the space station cargo decks. Now, Cloud Imperium's vision for the cargo profession, which will be rolling out this year, is to create a real-world economy system with resource gatherers on all scales, moving large materials to factories, who then manufacture goods, with those goods then being distributed all over the verse by huge ships like the Hull series, which are essentially ocean liners, delivering their cargo to the cargo decks above each major landing zone. Think of them as the busy docks in various countries, at which point vehicles of many different sizes, like the trucks and lorries of the world, will then pick up and haul these goods to other planet-side locations, like the cities or distribution centers, which are basically like Amazon's warehouses. And then smaller vehicles, like the vans of the verse, will take those items to their destination, which could have literally been a player requesting an item or material to be delivered to their newly built homestead. So you see, distribution centers are a fundamental element in the backbone of Star Citizen's economy, serving a very important role, all the while plugging these locations into all of the other game systems that they have created, like the various mission types, reputation systems, raids, and so much more. They are a very intentional addition that had to come this year, as now Cloud Imperium are taking the cargo profession, reputation, and the economy to a whole new level. And once these distribution centers are here, which should be within the first half of the year, as they say, there is going to be a constant supply of opportunities and missions for players. And I don't just mean on the legitimate side either. I expect them to be hotspots for pirates, watching and scanning every ship that lands or takes off, looking for a potential target, so checking for weak spots or easy prey. Now, distribution centers are a new addition that I am eagerly awaiting, simply because of how much gameplay they will provide and support as the verse gets further fleshed out. And I can't wait to be involved in all of it. That said though, it is going to be a joy just watching them all progress and get made, and when these locations do come in, they are going to be quite a sight on the landscape. But with that said, if you did enjoy my video, please do consider subscribing as we storm towards 60,000 subscribers. Thank you all so much for the support. Do follow the link in my description to twitch.tv/SuperMacBrother. You are all more than welcome to come and hang out with us over on Twitch. Should be live later today if this video goes up in time. Carrying on with some Zero to Hero, seeing what we can get up to and find in the verse. Hit the thumbs up if you don't mind, it does the channel a big favour, and tick that notification bell if you would like to be notified when my videos go live. Again, a massive thank you to my patrons and channel members for making these videos possible. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.